Paramam Abhayam Varadam Nararupadharam Janatam Paharam Sharanagata Sevakadosha Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Gunahina Sutam Aparadayutam Kripayadya Samudharamo Agatam Taranim Bhavasagara Parakarim Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Ishayam Kusumam Pariritya Sada Charanam Burumamrita Shanti Sudam Pibabangamano Bhavarogaram Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam Kurmadevi Sute Pranate Sutta Sharanasrayadanena Kripamayi Namostute Lajja Patavrite Nityam Sharade Jnanadayike Papebhyo na Sadaraksha Kripamayi Namostute Krishna Gata Pranam Tannama Savana Priyam Tadbhavaranjitakaram Pranamani Murmu Pavitram Charitam Yasyaha Jivanam Tatha Pavitrata Swarupinyai Tasyai Kurmo Namo Namaha Devim Prasannam Pranatartivantrim Yogindra Pujyam Yogadharmapatrim Tam Shanadam Bhakti Vijnanadatrim Dayasvarupam Pranamami Nityam Snehena Badnasi Manosmadiyam Doshana Sheshan Sabuni Karoshi Avetunano Dayase Sadoshan Swamke Grahitva Yadidam Vichitram Rasidamatar Vinaye bindum chiradagdachitte Rishim chachittam kuruna sushantam Jananim sharadam devim Ramakrishnam jagadgurum Padapadme tayo sritva Pranamami murmukum Pranamami murmukum Mai ki jai Nan Sri Ramakrishna Eva ki jai Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji ki jai Let us begin with a Shanti mantra from the Upanishads. This mantra is from the Kenopanishad, which occurs in the Samaveda. Om Apyayantu mamangani Vak pranashchakshusrotram Athabalam indriyani cha sarvani Sarvam brahmopanishadam Maham brahma nirakuryam Ma brahma nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaste mayi santu te mayi santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I pray to the Divine Lord that all parts of my personality, my body, mind, all the sense organs, the prana shakti and strength, may all increase and function in perfect harmony with each other and with the mind. This whole physical universe, cosmos, creation is nothing other than Brahman, the ultimate reality described in the Upanishads. May I always keep this truth in mind and strive to achieve this truth and experience it in this very life by the grace of the Lord. May I not reject this truth. As I am engaged in this lofty effort of experiencing the ultimate truth of my divine nature, may all the virtues described in the Upanishads come to me and reside in me. May all the virtues such as truthfulness, strength, purity, celibacy, straightforwardness, may all those virtues described in the Upanishads as being necessary for self-realization, may all those virtues come to me and reside in me. Om peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. Adhyatmika shantihi. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. Adi bhautika shantihi. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Adi daivika shantihi. Namaskar. The topic for this morning's study is first steps towards yoga. This morning presentation is taken from one shloka from the Viveka Chudamani. Many of you may be familiar with this famous work, Viveka Chudamani, composed by Shankaracharya. There, this is sloka number 367. There are 584 verses in that book. This is 367. And this shloka has 5 instructions. They are Yogasya Prathamadvaram Vagnirodho Parigraha Nirasha cha Niriha cha Nityamekanta Shilata. Yogasya Prathamadvaram. Dvaram means door. The door, the first door to yoga consists of several disciplines. First of them is Vang Nirodha. We'll study each of these in some detail. Vak means speech. Nirodha means control. First thing we have to do in spiritual life is to control our speech. Yogasya Prathamadvaram Vang Nirodho Aparigraha. Second discipline is Aparigraha. Aparigraha means not receiving anything, any gift, anything that is unnecessary. The rest minimum requirements only we should keep. Second discipline, Vang Nirodha Aparigraha. Third one is Nirasha. Not having expectations of happiness. Next one is Niriha. Niriha means not engaging in unnecessary activities, hoping to get some benefit or happiness. The last one is Nityam Ekanta Shilata. Ekanta means solitude. Solitude. Nitya means all the time. Ekanta Shilata. Shila means it must become our character, not something that we do once in a while. Constantly seeking solitude. 5 things. Vang Nirodha, Aparigraha, Nirasha, Niriha, Ekanta Shilata. So why these are necessary and how to practice these things? This is what we want to understand. What is yoga then? Yogasya Prathamadvaram, the first door entrance to yoga consists of these 5 things. Yoga has so many different meanings, as you know. But in this context, in this shloka, one commentator has explained yoga as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest thing that we can achieve. Yoga does not mean just to practice some yoga discipline, yoga practice. That is all one meaning. They all have some place. But here yoga means Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That is the pinnacle of human achievement, highest. To reach that one, we have to begin our journey somewhere, spiritual practice somewhere. Where do we begin? First thing is Vang Nirodha, speech control. See, we have these 5, these are 3 instruments, karana, instruments through which everything we do. Any action that we do happens only through these 3 instruments. What are they? Mind, Manaha. Second is speech, what we speak. And third is all actions through sense organs. 5 sense organs of perception, Jnanendriya, 5 sense of action, Karmendriya. Through these 10 sense organs, we do everything. We see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, and so on. So these are 3 instruments. Everything that we do happens through these 3 instruments only. These are called 3 karana, 3 instruments. Of these 3, here Shankaracharya has given importance to one, speech. Thinking is important, very important, what we think in our minds. Action is very important, what we do. But speech is very important, because speech is where we contact other beings, other people, we communicate through speech. That has to be very nicely controlled. So how to do that one? What is its importance in spiritual life? These are the things we want to understand. And these 5 instructions are in addition to other preparatory steps described in the Vivekachudamani and the other scriptures. These are not the only 5 things. To achieve success in yoga, nirvikalpa samadhi, other things have to be done. Preparatory steps have to be done. What are they? According to Vivekachudamani, some of you know that one, sadhana chatushtayam. You remember sadhana chatushtayam? Chatushtayam means group of 4. Sadhana means spiritual discipline. What are they? Before that, first one, Viveka. Viveka, Vairagyam, Samadhamadi, Shatka Sampatti, and Mumukshutvam. We are not studying these things now, just mentioning it in passing. So those have to be done. Not only these 5. Viveka, discriminating between real and unreal, examining everything in our life, and testing, is it real? Is real means, is it always going to be there? Does it bring happiness always? Is it necessary, essential? Or is it something that comes and goes and mixture, happiness and happiness? If not always there, if it is something limited in time and quality, variation in quality, then that is not worth pursuing. Only one thing that is real, that is God or Atman. Jnanis call it Atman or Brahman. Devotees call it God. That's the only thing that is worthwhile pursuing. It's always there, never lost. Other things will come and go. Family will come and go. Job will come and go. Money comes and goes. Body comes and goes. They are not. They have some place in our life. They are important at some stage in life, but not. That's it, limited. So that ability to distinguish the one thing that is real, worth pursuing, highest goal, God or Brahman, Atmajnana or devotion, that you have to pursue. That knowledge, that conviction is Viveka. Vairagya means pursuing only what is real and other things to the extent necessary. You don't have to reject everything, anything completely. We can have money, we can have family, we can have job, we can have enjoyment, pleasure. Everything is okay to some point. They have some place in life at a certain stage in life. They're okay, but they are not the goal of life. Vairagya is rejecting all those things as not really pursuing with any degree of seriousness, expecting they will give you happiness. If they are there, it's okay. We don't have to shun. If you have a job, I don't have to give it up. I have a family, I can live with the family and love the family members, serve them, do my duty. All those things are okay. They're not the ultimate. Vairagya means giving them the due place, but nothing more. Not being attached to them, because they will go sooner or later. And the third discipline, sadhana chatushtayam, means a group of 6 moral spiritual disciplines. Shama, practicing tranquility of the mind. So many things happen in daily life which disturb us. Sometimes people angry, sometimes dejected, sometimes jealousy, sometimes sadness will come, things will happen. But I remain calm, whatever happens. Shama, maintaining tranquility of the mind under all circumstances. Dhamma means controlling sense organs. The sense organs, 5 of them, they all want to do their own thing. I want to see something pleasant, good or bad, not take consideration. Something nice to say, I want to see on the internet, movie or whatever. You have to examine. And hands want to test something, whether good or bad, there you have to control. This control of sense organs is Dhamma, Shama Dhamma. Third discipline is Titiksha. Titiksha means forbearance. So many problems come in life and we have to bear them. We don't have to bear. We can take preventive measures, as we saw yesterday. We can take remedial measures if problems come. But whatever cannot be prevented or remedied, we have to bear them calmly, without complaining, without lamenting. That discipline is called Titiksha. Shamadama Titiksha. Uparati. Uparati means drawing the sense organs from the outside objects and making them dwell on God within or self within. The sense organs always wants to go out. Eye wants to see, ear wants to hear something, tongue wants to taste something, mouth wants to say something. All tendencies, control, check the tendencies, make them focus attention here on the self. Uparati. Saddha means conviction that what the scripture say, Upanishad says, and what the illumined teacher says, that is the truth. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Vidyavadharanam. Shastra means not all the Shastras. Puranas and other Smriti Grantha, they say things, they are valid at a certain time and place, but they are not always, all of them are not universal eternal truths. They are good at a certain time, in a certain place. They are Yuga Dharma. Shashvata Dharma means something that is universally true and accept, relevant and in all places and at all times. Never goes out of fashion. Those are the truths we have to stick to. So that understanding we should have. And what the scriptures say, Upanishads say, Upanishads contain eternal truths of universal validity, relevance. They never go out of fashion. Eternal truths. That Shraddha we should have. Conviction. The second part of Shraddha is Guru Vakya. Guru means illuminati. So many gurus are there. They are advertise themselves as a guru. In some magazines, you see advertisements. I will give you some mantri diksha if you send $150. And the guru sat and said, those advertisements, they're all gurus. Call themselves guru, not that one. Guru means illumined teacher. Shastriya, Brahmanishta, all those stringent qualities are there for a guru. Everybody cannot become a guru. We are all students only, not gurus. So in such a guru's Vakya, guru means gurus like Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji, Vivekananda, Holy Mother, and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Sri Rama, they are the gurus. Their words are to be followed. Other people, if they reflect those things, that's okay. So having conviction in the, that is Shraddha. Samadama Titiksha Upariti Shraddha. Last discipline is Samadhanam. Samadhanam means first understanding what is the goal of human life. We are born as human beings. God has given us this most precious gift of human life. Human life is the most precious gift we can get. We have that one already. God has given us If you are born as an animal or some other being, nothing can be done. Animals live their life. They can't do achieve anything. They don't have self-awareness. They just live and die. Not that. Human birth, most precious gift. As a human being, we can achieve anything we want to achieve, including God realization. So that human birth is very precious. We have that. We have been given that by God. So what am I supposed to achieve with this most precious gift that I've been given? Should I waste it away, squander it away by enjoying this and that and family, job, children, money, enjoyment, entertainment, sports, and one day old age will come, that will come, that's the end of life. Is that all? Or is there something goal that I have to achieve, highest goal, that only human beings can achieve? What is that? That is knowing God or knowing the self within. My true nature is not body mind. A true nature is divine. Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. We are all divine, no exception. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are divine. But we are not experiencing the divinity right now. We are only experiencing the body mind, which are subject to variation. They come and go, body becomes sick. We are not that. We are the Atman. And we have to achieve that goal. That is the goal of human life. If we don't achieve that goal of self-knowledge, Atmajnana, or God realization, then no matter what else we do in this life, no matter how rich we become, how much money we accumulate, how famous we become, they are not of real consequence. They are good for a certain time, temporary, that's all. Goal of life is God realization or Atmajnana. You have to always keep that in mind, never forget it. That is samadhana, never forgetting the goal of life. Whatever we do in our daily life must in some way contribute to reaching that goal. We should never do something which takes us away from that goal. The discipline of constantly keeping in mind the goal of human life and trying to achieve that in every step, that is samadhana. And it is all the third one. Viveka Vairagya, Samadhamadi 6. And then the fourth one is Mumukshutvam, desire for liberation. We want liberation means achieving permanent peace and joy, transcending the cycle of birth and death. Cycle of birth and death, we have gone through it so many times, we are not aware of it. We don't remember past birth, fortunately. It will be a problem if you remember everything that happened in the previous birth. And if you are not careful, you will be born again and again so many times. And every birth you go through same problem, experience, pain, pleasure. So this is not the goal. You have to stop this and reach goal, God realization. That is the goal of life. So all these things have to have a strong desire to reach that goal. Mumukshitvam, desire for liberation. That must be there. Otherwise, you will do end up doing something else. In addition to this sadhana chatushtayam and Patanjali's Yama Niyama, we are familiar with that one. 5 rules of Yama, 5 rules of Niyama, Ahimsa, non-violence, Satyam, truthfulness, Amsa Satyam, Asteya, not stealing, Brahmacharya, celibacy, Aparigraha, not receiving gifts unnecessarily. 5 rules of Yama. 5 rules of Niyama. Shaucham, purity, inward, outward purity. Santosha, contentment. Tapas, austerity. 3 kinds of austerity. Austerity of body, mind, and speech. And then Swadhyaya, study of scriptures or mantra japa. And then last one is Ishvara Pranithanam, surrendering our whole life at the feet of the Lord. These are all preparatory steps only. These are not the goal, these are preparatory steps. And then the 5 things that Shankaracharya says here. So we studied the only 5 things in that one sloka. Vagnyodaha, aparigraha, nirasha, niriha, ekanta, shilata. These 5 things you want to understand. These are all familiar to you from earlier. Nothing really is new in this one. But from time to time, we have to recapitulate and reaffirm. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go to the first one. Vang nirodha yogasya prathamadvaram. Vang nirodha. Nirodha means control. Vang means speech. Controlling speech. Before we say anything, before we open our mouth and say anything, we have to ask several questions. Is what I am going to say really the truth? Is what I am going to say really necessary? It may be true, but is it necessary? Is it relevant? Is it pleasant to the hearer? Does it cause any embarrassment or pain to the person who listens to my speech? And is it the proper timing? It may be right, it may be true, the time may not be right. All these things we have to ask ourselves. And if I say this, how will it affect the other person? Will it make him happy or her happy, or does it cause embarrassment or pain to the listener? These things have to be, we have to think before we say open our mouth. Generally, we don't do that. We say something and then we realize, I should not have said it. Once it is said, you can't cancel. Once you say the word, you can't withdraw it. No matter how much you try to repair, it becomes worse. If I say a wrong word or something wrong, and I to repair it, that's not what I meant, I meant this one. No matter how much you try, it will only become worse. So better to think before we speak. These are the disciplines. And speech. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is one shloka in the 17th chapter, that is shloka number 15. There are 3 shlokas actually, shlokas 14, 15, 16 in 17th chapter. Those 3 shlokas, verses, they describe 3 kinds of austerities, tapas. First one is austerities pertaining to the body, physical body. We have 3 instruments we saw: body, sense organs, mind and speech. These 3 instruments have to be kept in good condition, pure and in pure condition, strong. So how to keep these 3 instruments in good condition, pure and strong? So the Bhagavan described these 3 things. So we focus on the second one, how to keep the faculty of speech clean and pure. Not one word that is not true must escape our lips, not even in thought. If we think something wrong, sooner or later it will come out in my speech. I'm not careful. So thought must be pure, speech must be pure. And how to keep the speech pure? For this one, Bhagavan has given 5 instructions. First one we are describing, Vang Nirodha, control of speech. How to control speech? 5 things we have to do to control this speech. Those are described in 17:14 in the Gita. First one, first rule of speech is Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam parihitam chayat swadhyaya vyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Vangmayam is speech austerity. What are they? 5 things. First thing is Anudvegakaram vakyam. Vakyam means speech. Udvega means excitement in the listener's mind, in my mind also. Disturbance. Udvega means disturbance in my mind. If I say something that disturbs you, the listener, then I should not say that one. What I say must be soothing, comforting, true. If I say harsh word, it will cause you pain. Even animals also feel that one. They are very sensitive. The dog is there, and you look at the face and yell at the dog. You will feel the pain. You can see the pain in the dog's face. They are very sensitive. People are sensitive. What I say affects you. I must be aware of the impact of my speech on you. If my speech causes you pain, embarrassment, then I should not say that one. First rule of speech, what I say must not cause any inconvenience or pain. Somebody's trying to come there. New people. What I say must not cause any pain, embarrassment to any of you. I must be careful. What I say must be pleasing to you, beneficial to you. Second requirement for speech is satyam, most important, must be true. Nothing that is not true should be said, not even thought about. Satyam, the truth, is the most important discipline in spiritual life. This is extolled in all the scriptures, in the Gita, in the Upanishads. Sri Ramakrishna emphasized Satyam. In his teachings, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, 6 or 7 times in the gospel, he says, for Kali Yuga, Satyam is the most important discipline. We may do a lot of japa, meditation, study, everything, but if I don't tell the truth, nothing will be useful. Everything will be spoiled. Truthfulness, very important. In the Upanishads, Satyam is described as the path to Atmajnana, self-knowledge, or to Jnana, or to self-knowledge. It says in the Upanishad, Satyena pantha vitato devayanaha satyameva jagatena anritam. Truth alone triumphs. Anritam means falsehood never succeeds. May give you advantage temporarily if I say something false, but in the long run, it is destructive. So truthfulness has to be absolutely scrupulously followed. No compromise there at all. For whatever reason, we should not say something that is not true. Satyena pantha vitato devayana. Devayana means the path to reach God is supported by Satyam, truthfulness. If I say untruth, falsehood, I can never reach God. No matter how much meditation I do, how much japa we do, if I don't tell the truth, nothing will succeed. Very important discipline. Satyam. So, Amritasya esha setu Upanishadasya. Setu means a bridge. I'm here now at the human level, and I want to reach goal, divine level. So what is the path, bridge that connects me to divine? Truthfulness. You have to cross that bridge. Truthfulness is extolled as the one most important discipline in human life. Sri Ramakrishna says this truthfulness, satyam, is important not only for spiritual seekers, even for those who are engaged in worldly life, in business and worldly life. They must also scrupulously, unfailingly follow the path of truth. That is second part of Vagnirodha. Anudvegakaram Satyam. The third part of speech, discipline, is Priyam. Priyam means it must be pleasant. What I say must be pleasant. Unpleasant things we should not say. Some people have the habit of saying profanity and something that is not very pleasant, and then they will regret that one. You can see in the news, these politicians, they are speaking and they don't know that the mic is hot. And they say something, some profanity they will say. And it comes all over the news media. Everywhere in the world, people will know he said this profanity, President Biden used this. Once you say there's nothing you can't repeat, you can't take it back. It's one way. You speak and you can't take it back. And that will sometimes it will have a big impact on their career. People have to give up their job because they said some racist slur or something, they say, not knowing it is being caught in the mind, problem will come. So not only that, we should always say, make a habit of saying only what is pleasant. Unpleasant things, why we should say? Makes people unhappy, causes pain to people if we say something unpleasant. So we have to be careful. Priyam. Anudvegakaram satyam priyam. Fourth requirement for speech, Vagnirodha, is hitam, must be beneficial, useful. Unnecessary, simply saying something, waste of time and energy for speaker and listener also. Not only I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting your time also by saying something irrelevant, unnecessary, useless stuff. All kinds of useless stuff. The bad habit must be beneficial, must have use, some purpose must be there. Simply saying something just to kill time, waste of precious human resource. Fourth requirement, anudvegakaram, not causing any disturbance in the listener's mind. Satyam must be true, and priyam must be pleasant. Unpleasant things we should not say. And hitam must be beneficial. And these are four. The fifth discipline for Vagnirodha, you are discussing Vagnirodha, control of speech. Fifth one is Swadhyaya Bhyasanam Jaiva Vagmayam Tapa, which is Swadhyaya means there Swadhyaya has one common general meaning. We all know Swadhyaya means study of scriptures. Study of some scripture, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Veda, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, all those scriptures people study. That part is called Swadhyaya. That has to be done. One meaning. In the Upanishad, much importance is given to Swadhyaya. The Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, the teacher in a Gurukulam gives instruction to the departing students on the last day of classes. Like concluding instruction, the students finish their study, they are going home to pursue their life. The final instruction, Guru says. There, the very first instruction the Guru says to the departing student, graduating student says, Satyam Vada. Absolutely, we should follow Satyam under all conditions. It may be inconvenient, but you have to stick to Satyam. Satyam, that is one discipline of speech. In the same instruction, set of instructions, Guru says, when you go back home after finishing studies, every day you must practice Swadhyaya, study of scriptures. Just like we eat every day at least a few minutes we should spend in studying some scripture. Bhagavad Gita, most common scripture, or you choose what scripture you want to study. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, some people study Guru Charitram, and some people read Ramayana, Mahabharata, like that one. You choose what scripture you want to study. But every day, a few minutes you must study scriptures, reflect on it. Swadhyaya Bhyasanam Chaiva. Second meaning of Swadhyaya is, in the Raja Yoga commentary, Swami Vivekananda says Swadhyaya also means japa, Om japa, or your mantra japa. Guru Diksha, Guru has given mantra, that japa. That is also called Swadhyaya. And if you practice Swadhyaya, that japa, if you do, then the benefit is Swadhyayad Ishtadevata Samprayogaha. Swami Vivekananda commenting on the Raja Yoga aphorisms of Patanjali, then this is the comment, this is the that sutra. Patanjali says, if you practice Swadhyaya, meaning repetition of mantra, Guru mantra or Om, then what happens? Ishtadevata Samprayogaha. You will realize your Ishtadevata. You will have darshan of your Ishtadevata. If you are practicing Rama Japa, you will see Sri Rama, vision will come. If you are chanting Krishna mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, like that, you will see Krishna's form. That will happen. That is explained in this Raja Yoga book. Swadhyaya Dishta Devata Samprayoga. Let me see if you can find it. Swadhyaya on. Sorry. This different page numbers. What? Parigraha. There Patanjali says, if you practice Svadhyaya every day diligently, repeating mantra, then you will have vision of your chosen idea, Ishta Devata will come. The benefit of Svadhyaya. So, two meanings of Svadhyaya: study of scriptures, repeating mantra. There's one more meaning of Svadhyaya. The Swa means one's own self, Adhyaya means study, Adhyayanam. So, every day before we retire, we should read one page of one book. What is that one important book? Our own mind. Every day we add records to the mind. From morning till from we wake up until we go to bed, so many thoughts will come. We say so many things, we do so many things, go so many places. They all leave an impression. So I should take a few minutes before retiring for the night. This whole day, God has given me this one precious day. Every day is a gift God gave. What did I do with it? Where did I go? Whom did I meet? What did I say? What did I do? How did I spend my time? It's from morning 6 a.m. until night 12 p.m. is 18 hours. How did I spend? Precious time. We have to take stock of that one. And then we should make correction. Today I wasted 1 hour talking unnecessary thing. Tomorrow I will not do that one. Correction. And today I did something good, I will repeat it tomorrow. Like that, correction. Introspection, correction. That is also Swadhyaya. So we have done that one. Anudyegakaram, speech that does not cause disturbance in the listeners. Satyam must be truthful. Priyam must be pleasant. Hitam beneficial. Swadhyayam 5. These 5 disciplines constitute the first requirement for yoga, achieving Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That is, Yogasya Prathamadvaram Vang Nirodho Parigrahaka. So we studied one first discipline. 4 more things are there. Second one is Aparigrahaka. Yogasya Prathamadvaram Vang Nirodha Aparigraha means this also familiar to from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Aparigraha means not accepting anything, not acquiring or accepting, even if it comes free. Not buying unnecessary things. People go to a shopping mall and they don't have any intention to buy anything. They just want to loot the window shopping, and they end up buying so many things which they did not have any plan to buy when they left the home, because it is so attractive, so nicely displayed in the shop window. Oh, I want to buy that one. You already have so many things, dresses. Dress looks so interesting. Oh, let me buy that one. You end up buying that one. This is how we accumulate things. Accumulating unnecessary things. Much more than what is really needed. That practice is not good for spirituals, for anybody in general, even for worldly people. Wasting money by acquiring unnecessary things, useless things, should not be. For spiritual seekers, it is very important not to keep one extra thing that is not necessary for my life, even if it is offered free to me. So many people give so many gifts because gift giving is a social convention. Everybody has everything these days. And still you have to give something because it is custom. If you don't give, oh, he didn't give any gift, like that, people will talk. So therefore, people end up giving and people end up receiving. What do they do with all these things? So many things already have. One more thing that is not good. Aparigraha means not keeping even one extra thing that is not basically essential for your life. The more things we have, more attachment comes. They are upadhis, they are a burden, you have to maintain them. And someday you have to clean their place. People, when they move from one house to another, they have lived in this house for 25 years. So many things have accumulated there over the period of time. And now what do? You got to go to a new place, a smaller place, and what to do with this? They are good. You paid money and then you don't feel like throwing them away. And nobody wants them because everybody is all those things. So the downsizing becomes a problem. Keeping only what is minimal, necessary. That is one thing, aparigraha. Aparigraha is also a mental discipline. Not only physically keeping unnecessary things is good, but mentally being attached to things that we have. This is mine. That idea should begin. Nothing is mine. If you take a few minutes to examine what is mine, we have the habit of saying this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Some people keep other people's property also the mine. If you examine what did I bring, what I am taking, what is really mine, there's not one thing which I can call mine. Not even the body. I say my body, not my body. So that deep thinking has to be done. So aparigraha means not keeping anything that is really not essential for human life. Every extra thing is a burden. And Sri Ramakrishna practiced this aparigraha very strictly all his life. One day, a rich Marwadi merchant came to Dakshineshwar to see Sri Ramakrishna. And that Marwadi man wanted to donate some money to Sri Ramakrishna. He offered 10,000 rupees. Those days during Sri Ramakrishna's time, 1885-86, 10,000 rupees was a huge amount of money. Now it is nothing. But Sri Ramakrishna said, he became very uncomfortable. When the Marwadi offered, please, I want to give you 10,000 rupees, Sri Ramakrishna became so painful for him. I don't want to accept that one. He absolutely rejected that one. A sannyasi should not accept anything that is not most essential requirement. Only food, one meal at a time, not even storing for tomorrow or evening meal. No acquisition, no collecting things for tomorrow should not be done. Householders have to keep things. The requirements are different. Householders have to acquire enough money and keep things that are necessary for the family, husband, wife, children, parents living with them. You need everything, clothes and utensils and money, everything. Some saving has to be done for householders for unforeseen expenses, so that if somebody becomes sick, then you need extra expenses, and all those things you have to keep some extra safety net. Money is also necessary for householders, but not beyond that one. Then it becomes greed. Whatever is needed, that you keep. More than what is needed, don't keep. Where need ends and greed becomes, that we all have to decide. It's different for different people. That decision you have to make. Anything that is more than needed, no. That is aparigraha. And then, I had the passage here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here in Raja Yoga, Swamiji's book on Raja Yoga, there is one sutra on aparigraha. Aparigraha sthairye janmakathanta sambodha. One sutra. I'll read the translation. when a person's mind is fixed on non-receiving, not receiving anything that is not really basically essential. When a person is fixed on non-receiving, he or she gets the memory of past life. Then he says, next paragraph, when a man or woman, when a man does not receive presents, not receiving unnecessary presents, he does not become beholden to others. See, if you give me a gift and if I accept it, if not necessary for me, accept it, then I become thankful to you, beholden to you. That should not be done. Beholden to others, but remains independent and free. You don't want to be indebted to anybody. Whatever I need, I earn with my own effort, and with that I'm satisfied. With every gift, he is likely to receive the evils of the giver. Excuse me. With every gift, the recipient is likely to receive the evils of the giver. Whatever bad qualities the giver has, that will come to us with the gift, and we'll be receiving that one. If it does not receive, the mind is purified. Less things we receive, better it is for us. And the first power is it gets its memory of past life. Then alone the yogi becomes perfectly fixed in his ideal. The yogi sees that he has been coming and going many times, so many life after life. So he becomes determined that this time he will be free, that he will not come and go anymore, and achieves liberation. So aparigraha has to be practiced. So far we have done Vang Nirodha, Aparigraha, 2 of the 5 disciplines for yoga sadhana. Now we go to the third one. Nirasha. Asha means desire, hope. If I do something, it will bring me happiness. If I buy that another bigger house, it will make me happy. If I get that another job which brings more money, I'll be happy. If I have another child, that child will make me happy. These are all expectations of happiness from things that we want to do and achieve. Now, in the scriptures, we have been told again and again not to do something that is specifically meant only for one's own happiness. If I do some action that has no other purpose except to make me happy, pleasure of one's own, that should not be done. Such a karma is called kamya karma. Kamya karma means, kama means desire. Kamya karma means any action that I do exclusively for my own benefit. If it benefits other people, it is good. That is okay. If only for me, for my own happiness and enjoyment, if I do something that is very true, very selfish action, that should not be done. Do something that benefits everybody, then that's okay. You will also benefit. That's okay. If everybody benefits and you benefit, you are one of them, that's okay. In the larger context, you do the work. But only for me, for my own pleasure, doing something, that is not good. Not doing things that are meant only for one's own pleasure, that is kamya karma, that should not be done, should be given up. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has given 5 instructions in one sloka. Chapter 3, sloka number 30. Very important sloka. There Bhagavan says, when you do any action, when you say something or think something or do something, you must keep 5 instructions in mind. What are the 5 instructions? They are given in sloka number 30, chapter 3. There he says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Whatever action I do must be dedicated to offer to God. Offer everything within me. Yesterday also we studied this one. Chapter 9:27. Whatever you do, offer it to me, Lord says. Why we should offer anything to God? Does he need anything? The Lord is the whole universe he created. He wants universe. He does not need anything. My little work that I do, why we should, what does he do with that one? But he says, offer it to me. Why? Because when I offer something to somebody, then I'm practicing detachment. No more mine. Namama. So far I thought it was mine. I thought this is book is mine and attachment to it. If I offer it to somebody, then I'm giving up attachment to the book. It's no longer mine. Namama. It was not mine to begin with in the first place. I thought it was mine. That's a wrong, mistaken notion. That thing is mine. I thought it was mine. When I give something to somebody, I'm giving up attachment to that thing that I give. One reason why we should give. Second reason why we should give anything to anybody is to express our love and devotion. I give an example. Supposing somebody comes to your house, your friend, relative, or co-worker, somebody comes to your house, casual visit. Then what do? You prepare a cup of tea and some snacks and give to that person. We also have. Now, you gave a cup of tea to that person. Why did you give? Not to fulfill that person's need. He himself can have any number of cups of tea in his own home. He didn't have to come to your house to get a cup of tea. Not to fulfill his need. But by giving, you are expressing your happiness. I'm so happy that you came, chose to come to my house. You could have gone someplace else. So favor he is doing by visiting me. Thank you for doing that one. I'm very happy to express my happiness and my joy, my love. I'm offering this cup of tea. Not because he need a cup of tea. So when we give something to God, in puja, we do naivedyam, offering fruits and flowers, raisins, almonds, sweets and everything. Why? Does he need all these things? It doesn't need our banana and almond, yes, everything. But we are expressing our love for God, the devotion to God. That is why we have to offer everything that we do. Nirashi means offering everything and not doing anything for one's own benefit exclusively. Kamya karma, that should be given up. That is the third instruction. Not expecting anything from our work, for ourselves. If everybody benefits, I'll benefit, that's okay too. So in the sloka number 30 in chapter 3, Bhagavan gives these 5 instructions. When you do something, offer everything to me. Many places he gives the same instruction. Second thing is, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Adhyatma chetasa means remembering the God's presence within me and in everybody else involved in that work and anything involved in that work. He is present everywhere in everything at all time, remembering that one. Then my work becomes like a worship, sacred. All work becomes sacred. Another meaning of that one is, according to Shankara, Bhrityaiva Ishvaraya Sarvani Karmani Karomi iti matya. Bhritya means a servant. Whatever I do, I should think as a servant is doing for the master. See, Hanuman, the ideal servant, Dasa. Dasa means a servant. Whatever Hanuman did was to serve Sri Rama, his beloved master, out of great love and devotion. In the same way, whatever I do, any action that we do must be done as seva, as a servant of God. God is Lord, is my Prabhu, my Lord. Whatever I am doing is his humble service, my humble service. With devotion, with joy, I do this work as a seva. That has to be done. Then the next instruction in 330 is Nirashi Bhutva. His Nirasha comes here. Not expecting any personal benefit for one's own self from the work I do. If it benefits everybody, that is okay. I will also be there. But not only just for myself. Anything that I do must be done in an unselfish manner. Not in a selfish manner. That is another requirement. Third requirement for yoga, after the 5 years studying, this is the third one. Vag nirodha, aparigraha, nirasha. You have to keep this in mind. Anytime I do any work, I must do it in an unselfish manner. Not just for me. May everybody benefit. May the whole nature benefit. If I do something, it must benefit not only people around me, people in this neighborhood, people in this society, in this country, in this community, people everywhere, animals everywhere, plants, nature everywhere must benefit. If I do something that is harmful to any of these things, it may bring me benefit, but if it causes inconvenience to other people, I should not do that work. If I do some project that brings me benefit and profit, but if it causes pollution, environmental pollution, then I should not do that work. Because whole environment suffers, animals in the environment, they suffer. That's why in this country, they have strict regulation. When you start an industrial project, any project, you should evaluate the environmental impact. EPA makes sure that one. Without thinking about the impact of my work on the environment, if I do something for my benefit, if it causes danger to the animals and plants and nature and earth, land pollution, noise pollution, it hurts everybody, every creature in the nature. Should not do that one. So, nirasha, not hoping for benefit for one's own self, but in the largest possible interest. Everything I do must be kept in the largest possible framework. That is the third discipline. Vag nirodha, aparigraha, nirasha. Then the fourth discipline that Shankara says for yoga, for achieving success in spiritual life, niriha. Niriha means doing something that is unnecessary activity. Niriha, here it says, ihate cheshtate niriha nischeshta. This means refraining from doing any action that is really not necessary. People have a habit of always doing something. They always want to be doing something. They can't keep quiet for 5 minutes. It's very difficult for them to keep quiet for 5 minutes. They have to get up and do something, make some phone call. Unnecessary, necessary, somebody else's waste of time, and you have to speak and just making a phone call or sending a text message. Unnecessary. Is the action necessary? Is it beneficial to the other person? These considerations we have to examine before we do any action. Any action that is purposeless, does not have any benefit for the doer or for the other people, that should not be done. Niriha means freedom from the tendency to do unnecessary action. They are so rajasic in their temperament, so much energy, they can't keep quiet. For 10 minutes, they cannot keep quiet. They have to do something, get able to do something. Go to the kitchen, do something, and go there and make a phone call or drive to the shopping mall with no purpose, simply to have a drive. That's not, that kind of unnecessary activity wastes precious time, energy, takes away the time that you can use for God realization. The same time you waste in doing unnecessary activity can be beneficially, profitably used in prayer, meditation, japa, study, or helping somebody, some poor person. If you don't have anything to do, you have time on your hands, go and do some service in the soup kitchen or somewhere, animal shelter somewhere, or in the park, do some cleaning activity, beneficial to others. That can be done. But simply doing something just to remain active, restlessness, that should not be done. Niriha cha niriha, nirasha, cha cha niriha cha. Kama bhogartam ihante. Rajasic people, kama bhogartam, they do all actions or most actions for enjoying benefit for oneself, to get enjoyment, kama bhogartam. That should not be done. A spiritual seeker should be satisfied with whatever is available. Doing something to gain something extra out of greed, seeking more happiness should be totally avoided by spiritual seekers. Compulsive activity, restlessness, not being able to keep quiet for 5 minutes, these are not good for spiritual seekers, for devote, for anybody in general, especially for spiritual seekers. That is the fourth one. What are the four ones we have discussed so far? First one is Vagnirodha, control of speech. Aparigraha, not accepting anything unnecessary. Nirasha, not doing anything specific like one's own pleasure or a benefit. Nireha, avoiding all unnecessary activities. Waste of time and energy. Instead, use the time and energy to do something beneficial for other people. The last one, fifth one is Nityam Ekanta Shilata. Ekanta means solitude, being alone. Some people cannot be alone. They have to have somebody. If nobody is there, at least they have to make a phone call. They can't keep quiet. So they have to be saying something, doing something with somebody. Yeah, that's not good for spiritual seekers. In the Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 6, there is one important shloka. You can make a note of that one. Chapter 6, shloka number 10. There, Lord has given all the three instructions are given there in one shloka in the Gita. There he says, chapter 6, shloka number 10. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yacha chittatma nirashira parigraha. See, these three things came there. Ekaki means remaining in solitude. Always within a company of people where large crowds are there. If you go, mind will not be peaceful. Disturbance. I'll give examples. Second one is Nirashi. Same thing that Shankaracharya says, Chudamani, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says here. 6:10. Aparigraha, same thing. Shankaracharya says, Patanjali says, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. So here it says, Ekaki yata chittatma rahasi sthitaha. When you do meditation, you should do in seclusion, not in a public place where everybody is noticing, oh, you're doing meditation like that or not. Quietly, someplace, nobody is watching. God is watching. Just to show off to how much I'm meditating already, japa like that in public place where 20 people are watching, not very good. Quietly, nicely, in private, you pray to God. So, ekaki, nityam ekanta shilata. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave a lot of importance to this discipline of solitude. I'll read a passage from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, where he emphasized importance of practicing solitude. He says, from time to time, go to some solitary place, always surrounded by people, family, co-workers, and friends. And the time goes away, talking with other people, their thoughts will come. Not very good for spiritual seekers. For some time every day, keep your own personal time, no phone, no conversation, no texting messages, turn off the phone, then afterwards you can do all that. For half an hour, this is my time, me and God. Nobody else is there. Tell everybody not to disturb you, not to call. That is solid. And devote your entire mind to God at that time. Very important for spiritual seekers. So let me read from the Gospel. This is on page 139 and 140. Continues. Last paragraph on page 139 in the Gospel. Even if one lives in the world, one must go into solitude now and then. It will be of great help to a man if he goes away from his family, lives alone, and weeps for God even for 3 days. Even if he thinks of God for 1 day in solitude, when he has leisure, that too will do him good. He or she Both, not only he, she also. Even that will do him good. People shed a whole jug of tears for wife and children, but who cries for the Lord? Now and then one must go into solitude and practice spiritual disciplines to realize God. Living in the world and entangled in many of its duties, the aspirant during the first stage of spiritual life finds many obstacles in the path of concentration. While the trees on the footpath are young, they must be fenced around. Otherwise, they will be destroyed by cattle. When the fence is necessary when the tree is young, but it can be taken away when the trunk is thick and strong. Then the tree won't be hurt even if an elephant is tied to it. That means all of us here, most of us here, are very new to spiritual life. I'm making a generalization, there are exceptions are there. That means we are like a very tender young sapling. Any small disturbance is enough to take away our mind from God to other things. Therefore, we should protect ourselves, not to follow any unwanted stimulus, unnecessary watching television, the internet, and all those things. And all those things we should avoid because they're all distractions. They do harm in two ways. One thing, they waste precious time. Second thing is put the all unwanted, impure thought they will put into our minds. So in more ways than one, they are harmful. Therefore, solitude means not watching television for 30 minutes or whatever time you decide. Not receiving any phone calls, not doing any text messaging, just sit down in a prayer room in your own home, or you go someplace else away from home where nobody is there. Pray to God in solitude. Very important for spiritual seekers. So that is one place where Bhagavan Sri Krishna emphasizes the importance, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna emphasizes the importance of solitude. Then in another place, page number 313 in the Gospel, in their second paragraph, he says, is there then no hope for householders? Certainly there is. They must practice spiritual discipline in solitude for some days. Thus they will acquire knowledge and devotion. Then it will not hurt them to lead the life of the world. But when you practice discipline in solitude, keep yourself entirely away from your family. You must not allow your wife, son, daughter, mother, father, sister, brother, friends, and relatives near you. While thus practicing discipline in solitude, you should think, I have no one else in the world. God is my only all in all. You must also pray to him with tears in your eyes for knowledge and devotion. Solitude. Fifth discipline. So we have done so far 5 disciplines required for success in spiritual life. So to conclude, to summarize, yogasya prasamadvaram vangnirodho parigraha nirasha cha niriha cha nityamekanta shilata. Shloka in Viveka Chudamani, fighting vangnirodha, control of speech, only truth must be said, only what is necessary must be said. Unnecessary talk, useless talk, irrelevant talk, waste of time, energy shouldn't be done. Aparigraha, not accepting anything, keeping anything, even if you can buy, have the money to buy, we should not buy unnecessary things. Clutter, so many things we have, then so much attachment, worrying about them, maintaining them, keeping them, and what to do with them. After some time, you can throw them away, you paid money for them, all this stuff. Fewer things better, simplified life. Aparigraha. Nirasha, not doing anything specific or one's own benefit, do something that helps everybody else and then you will also be benefited. Niriha, freedom from unnecessary active, going here, coming there, making phone call and some unnecessary thing, travel. No, not necessary. Conserve energy and time, use that for spiritual practice. Nirisha, and last one is Ekanta Shilata. Ekanta Shilata is not a one-time thing, not once going to solitude. Shila means must become your character. We should practice a solitude every day or every week, not just once or twice, continuing practice. I'll conclude with one example. What happens if you go to a place where a lot of people have gathered? In the Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Aratir Jana Samsadi. Jana Samsad means huge congregation of people. Arati means not going there, not seeking pleasure there. Recently, I think it was last year, in Houston, there was this some kind of a rap concert. I don't know what that is. And some person, I don't know his name, he attracts a lot of people. 50,000 people gathered in an auditorium in Houston. Such a big stampede was there. 10 or more people died. Doesn't say people were injured. Some lost their hands, some lost their feet, some were crushed. So much damage, so much suffering, lifelong suffering. Why did they go there? Because they wanted to listen to that music. So many people are there, stampede. You can do that at home, watch from home. Nowadays, everything is on the internet. You can come, YouTube, you can watch. We have to go there because being there in excitement, fireworks and everything, noise, crowd, excitement. Absolutely bad for spiritual sick, for anybody in general. All those people, how many people died there in stampede? And then how many more people were injured? Injury means for lifelong suffering, permanent injury, disability. Those who died, at least one way their solution. But those who were injured, and they paid huge money. The ticket is not cheap. $500, $900 per ticket. And if you buy a scalp from scalpers in black market, $2,000 per ticket. You pay good money, go there, get injured. That kind of going into crowded places, not good for spirituals, not for anybody, for spirituals. Be with some people who are devotees, common interest is there with devotees, to spend time, gather together, pray here, that group is good, congregation good. These are the 5 disciplines. So I will conclude by chanting the sloka once more. Dear Shankara says, Yogasya Prathamadvaram Vangnirodho Parigraha Nirasha cha Niriha cha Nityamekanta Shilata. 5 disciplines. Thank you very much for listening to me. I went over time, but I got so much interested in, I just went on talking. Thank you.
The last one, Arati Jana Samsade, you said is from Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Which sloka? Chapter 6, sloka number 10. And also, sloka 6 has another play. Ekaki, Yathachitatma, Nirashida Parigraha. That also comes. 6:10. Ekaki comes there. Solitude. Alone.
And Aparigraha.
Parigraha also comes. Nirashi also comes. 3 of the 5 Bhagavan has mentioned in the 6th chapter. Shall I say the closing prayer? Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy. May all be free from ill health and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble, dharmic and auspicious. May no one be subject to any kind of suffering. Om peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. Adhyatmaka Shanti. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. No ill will, no hatred, no animosity. Adi Bhautika Shanti. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Adidaivika Shantihi. Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Ramakrishna. Thank you all. Namaskar. So nice to see all of you. Yes, he came yesterday too.
Nobody had a question. Nobody had a question.
Question?
From the, she's asking if there is any question from the.
I don't see anything here.
Okay.
Do you see any question there?
Maharaj, on behalf of the ashram, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for
And
making this.
You have always been, as we said on the first day, you have always been our teacher, the first teacher and regular teacher ever since the ashrama was established. And so you could not come during COVID, but having come, Maharaj, it is not only fulfills our long desire, but also it filled us with so much new enthusiasm and energy. Pranam, Maharaj.
Durga, Durga, Durga. Yeah, become cold.
Everything is there, Maharaj.